So I talked to the UFC, and I'm actually going to be going up to lightweight from here on out. I won't be competing at featherweight anymore. They did this on purpose. They game planned this whole thing just to get that advantage. The additional couple weeks that he asked for, I think he actually gained weight on purpose because they were planning on missing weight. I got a text at 4 in the morning telling me that he was going to miss weight, and he was at 150, and then he weighed in at 149 and a half. So he lost zero point 0.5 in 4.5 hours, which is ridiculous. Trying to just be positive and get ready for the next one, but it's it's so frustrating because I was so prepared for that fight, and my body tanked, and he had the advantage there. So I don't know. It's just super frustrating. I love the sport so much. It's crazy. I've been doing this forever, and it's literally what sculpted my whole life. As long as I'm performing well, then I'll be there. And if you ever see another performance like that out of me again, then that'll be the last time. And I won't even second guess it.
Okay, so today I'm joined by Damon Action Jackson. Welcome, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for coming on. I know that you're coming off of a loss right now, but that was a crazy fight, and there's some intricacies going on with it. So first off, how are you feeling coming off of that?
Man, my body just I don't know what the hell happened. So I literally slept, which is not I normally work from 4:30 to 9 every day. Every day I work all day nonstop. And on Sunday, as soon as I got back, I slept the entire day. Monday I slept until 12 o'clock, and then I went back to sleep around 6 p.m. and didn't wake up the next day until the next day. And then today I'm dragging. So I don't know what happened, man, but it was crazy because I had such a great camp, and such a great camp, and my weight cut was as good as it's ever been. And everything was just laid out perfect. It was I was ready to go. That's why I didn't care that he missed weight. I didn't care because I was so prepared. And dude, I'm talking maybe 2 or 3 minutes before walkout, I started kind of feeling weird, whatever. And then I get out there, I started moving around that first round, and dude, my body just tanked whenever he I don't know if it was his weight, I don't know if it was I don't know what it was, but my body just tanked. It was crazy.
Well, have you been able to eat food and stuff like that and feel your body? Are you feeling sick in that
Yeah.
sense as well?
No, I mean, no, not no. I had, I've been on, my diet since then has been great, whatever. And it's just I have no clue.
Just the feeling?
Honestly, I have no clue, man. It's crazy because I feel so exhausted, and I just now am starting to feel a little bit better about just waking up and feeling good. But it's crazy. I've never had that. So I talked to the UFC, and I'm actually going to be going up to lightweight from here on out, and I won't be competing at featherweight anymore just because I think the weight cut, rehydration, plus that last 5 pounds, man. I'm talking death experience. It's brutal, man. It's not easy to make. That's why it's so frustrating when someone misses that weight because even though it's a pound or 2 pounds or 3 pounds, whatever, that last 5 pounds just takes it out of you. When I go from 150 to 145 or 146, you literally feel like you're gonna die. So, and there's no way, no, because as good as I did my diet this time, and my training was so good, as good as I did everything, it doesn't matter,
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, that's the biggest part of this whole thing. That's really why I wanted to have you on, is because Chepe missed weight. And you even said before the fight or the weigh-ins, a few days out, you're like, he's going to miss weight. And it appears like you guys had to negotiate extra money for him to give you, aside from the 15%, right? So you had to get extra money just to take the fight.
Well, I was gonna take the fight no matter what. I just think that's disrespectful when you miss more than by maybe a pound or half a pound, something like that. So when you're missing by 3.5 pounds, you gotta be doing the max. So that's what I asked for, was the max. And there's no denying. They did this on purpose. They game planned this whole thing just to get that advantage. And I knew it was like that because of how they did everything. I think that he probably even gained weight in that 3 weeks that he asked for. The additional couple weeks that he asked for. I think he actually gained weight on purpose because they were planning on missing weight. So I don't really know. That's just what I was thinking, is that he that they acted very like I got a text at like 4 in the morning telling me that he was gonna miss weight, and he was at 150, and then he weighed in at 149 and a half. So he lost point 0.5 in 4.5 hours, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
You
so
was more in your sleep.
dude, I mean, like it's crazy. It's just frustrating for sure.
Yeah. So, how much did you end up getting extra from the 15%? That's like normal. You asked for more. So how much did you end up getting?
Like 25% is like 25-30% is like the max you can get. So like that's what I got. And which is trash because he's only been fighting the UFC for 3 fights. So his contract wasn't that big. So you basically you get 25 or 15% of whatever their show purse is. So if they show and they get 10,000 to show, 10,000 to win, you only get 10,000, or you only get 15% of that first 10,000.
Oh, it's
You
not the
don't.
whole purse.
Exactly. Yeah. But
Oh,
bonus is if there's a bonus that's given that fight, you get the full bonus stuff. But which is crazy because I thought we were gonna get fight of the night or something just because it was you know it was such a sloppy fight. I'm so disappointed. But it was one of the only fights that kind of went that direction. So
yeah. And like you're also to your point about that, the 5 pounds. Yeah, that's a big deal. And he didn't really fight like he struggled in the weight cut,
no,
like he
you
fought
see
full of
his
energy.
freaking
That's one of the first things I thought.
man, it's bullshit because it's like you look at his physique. I mean, he's 5'7", something like that, and it's not like he's just walking around like shredded and he had nothing else to lose. It meant that he basically put it off to the last minute, or he knew he was going to miss, and I think he knew he was going to miss. And that whole camp is shady. But I don't want to get into that. But it's just discipline in the sports. And then the rules got changed, man. I think what should happen is that if you miss weight by more than a pound, you should also give up a point. So every pound you're over, you should give up a point per, for whatever round that the person wants. I think that there should be a point taken away and the percentage. I think that people are doing that as an advantage, especially early in your career. You're not getting paid shit, and if you have a good, if the odds are like kind of split like they were with me and him, they were pretty close. But it's like he has a huge advantage, and he's only gonna get a $6,000 pay cut. So it's just frustrating. But you know, I'm trying to just be positive and get ready for the next one. But it's like it's so frustrating because I was so prepared for that fight, and my body tanked and he had the advantage there. So I don't know. It's just like super frustrating.
Yeah, and you see it happening. I don't know if Ryan Garcia's whole weigh-in like debacle has been motivating other guys to do this negotiating beforehand, but even Kelvin Gastelum did that recently. And before Kelvin, the last time I heard of something like that was like Paulo Costa. But now we're having it like twice in this year after Ryan Garcia. It seems like people are gaming the system.
For sure. I mean, like he gets a slap on the wrist, but it's not like the UFC's like, hey, if you miss weight again, you're done. Like they just want to see good fights, and that's why like I think that they should either add another weight class in, like the 165, add that weight class in so people can kind of spread out more, or they shouldn't be so hardcore on keeping you at your weight class for like what you're contracted at. Because for me personally, like I would have never asked to go up to 155 if it wasn't like a serious issue with my health. But I would have never asked for that just because I know how slammed they are. But they have so many guys at 45, so many guys at 55, and that's just like an average weight for a lot of guys. And it's hard to like kind of move in between each one. But I wish that like just to give my body time to recover, maybe I could eventually get back down to 45 and stay there and be healthy. But I'm gonna go up to 55 for a few fights and just kind of let my body rest.
Okay, for sure. And I'll ask you about that next, but I just want to put it out there. Like, I'm not trying to bash Chepe just because I'm having you on stuff like that. But honestly, I don't like to see that stuff, missing by a lot of
Yeah,
weight and then fighting like you didn't really struggle in that weight cut because that's a big deal. So I just want to put that out there that I don't really like to see that stuff. And hopefully,
yeah,
moving forward, the UFC or the promotion can kind of figure out a way to not let them negotiate a new weight on fight week. I think that's
Yeah.
crazy to miss like 3 or 4 pounds on fight week when you've been cutting the whole time. Like maybe if they called a month out or 2 weeks out so you can stop dieting, that's a little bit more fair. But you're coming
Oh,
in
dude,
depleted and you made
I
weight.
would I
Wait,
would
did you
be
make weight or
like,
was it catch weight?
no, I made weight because I was already like, I got that text message at 4 in the morning, and I already made the weight the night before. So I got down to weight around 11 p.m. And you don't sleep. Like that's the thing, is that you're so deprived that your body just does not rest. And so when you go to bed or when you go lay down, you don't sleep the night before weigh-ins. Like there's only like a handful of guys that I know, heavyweights or upper weights, that don't really cut a whole lot. I know they sleep a little bit, but like most of the guys that I know that are cutting like 15 to 20 pounds, I cut 23 pounds. And most of those guys, I talk to them that like they don't sleep, like they don't even, it's hard to even close your eyes because you just have your mind's rolling and you're so deprived. So it's like impossible to sleep. And I took like 3 melatonin the night before, didn't like blink. I got a text, 4 in the morning saying he's gonna miss weight, and I'm like, bro, I'm already down. Like, you can't ask for a catch weight at 4 in the morning.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. And sleeping's a big part of cardio and all that. You don't get good sleep, it's hard to perform. So he's over there probably sleeping a little bit better than you at least, and that's another advantage that he's getting. But all right, so moving on from this now, right? You're kind of at a pivotal point in your career, I would say, especially after that fight. So you're moving up to lightweight. When do you want to get back in there?
I was hoping, either late October or early November. I want to get one more in, and then I just want to kind of after this next fight, I'm gonna take some time and just I'm gonna go on a trip with my girls because I didn't get to go this summer, man. I was like waiting around for a matchup the whole time, waiting. So I didn't really take them on a big trip, and like during Christmas and stuff like that, I just want to take them somewhere and just kind of chill, maybe go to Colorado or something. But just I want to have one more fight in this year, and then I want to take some time and just kind of recover and focus on my guys, all my guys on my team at my Forest Lakeside location. They're all fighting in September, October, and then I bet we'll start fighting in November also.
Okay, got you. And what's it called? I was gonna ask about. Oh, do you have an idea of an opponent? Because I was thinking featherweight before we just started speaking, but now you're gonna be moving
Yeah.
up to lightweight. Have you started considering that at
Yeah.
all?
I'm that guy. Like I don't give a shit who they give me. Like I don't really care. I'm gonna perform so much better at lightweight. It's crazy. Like the stuff, like being like going to that fight camp. I was scrapping with guys. Welterweights, lightweights, featherweights. I was going with everybody, and I had such a great camp. And it's like I think the weight cut is really the only thing that stops me from performing during the fights. With my stand up and my grappling and everything. So I'm just like, I'm really curious to see how this shift of the weight is going to change. And I'm excited about staying up to 155.
Okay. And I remember you said earlier on too, like you said you were so disappointed in your performance. What was it like? Some of the things that you weren't able to execute in there.
Just anything, man. If you watch the fight, like I wasn't breathing heavy the whole time. It was literally just like the function of my muscle. Like I couldn't grab and squeeze. I couldn't explode my legs. I couldn't get up. Like basic shit that I do every day against guys that outweigh me 30, 40 pounds. Like basic stuff that I just couldn't do. Like, it's just crazy that I was in that position because I was so ready and I was so ready.
Yeah, that was a crazy one, but if I'm looking back with what you're saying too, you didn't seem to have a lot of your strength in there. You kept, reversing positions here and there, but then you would lose it within a few seconds, So
Yeah.
he seemed like he had the upper hand, strength wise, or something in there. He had something on you,
No,
but
I
looks
did.
like you were sick.
Man, I don't think I was sick. I think
The
like
weight cut.
I think something with that.
Yeah.
Like it has to be that. That's the only thing because like I didn't throw up. I wasn't like nauseous. I wasn't anything like that. It was just literally couldn't freaking function. Man. I had like a crazy adrenaline dump, and I'm talking like when that fight was over, I laid in the locker room for like 45 minutes and didn't budge. Like I didn't freaking move. Like couldn't move. And I got in the shower and then I went back to the hotel and I was just like out, like crazy.
I was just kind of curious. You know, it's your business at the end of the day, but I'm kind of wondering, do you have a few fights left with the UFC, or what's the contract situation looking like now that, especially because you're moving up to lightweight stuff?
Yeah, I have think I either have three or four. So yeah, I'm not really worried about that. Like it's like for me, it's like if my performances are if I ever had something like that happen again, that would be the last time that I stepped in there. Because obviously like I felt so good and mentally I was so good. So like there's no excuse for me to like have that performance. So if it's not the weight cut, then and it's like just something else, then I'm not gonna do this to myself over and over and embarrass myself like that. So, I'm excited about going up to lightweight and just kind of getting some time to recover from the weight cuts, man. Like the weight cuts are brutal. Like I go, 6, 7 weeks. Like if I just fought, I usually give myself a few days where I just kind of like recover and eat kind of sloppy on purpose just to get it out of my system. And then once I'm done with those 3 or 4 days, I go back to my diet, and it's like I'm almost in a calorie deficit. Not every day, but I'm in a calorie deficit 3 to 4 days a week, and which is freaking crazy. And it's so hard to I had to get my protein in. I had to get all my fats in, but I'm staying away from carbs like all the time, like year round. I'm staying away from that because it's like as soon as that stuff touches my body, man, I blow up. So I won't have a problem with being at lightweight. I used to wrestle at 174 and 165 in college, and I could barely make 65 because I was like, having to cut 3 or 4 times a week. So it was, just when I made the move to light, I fought all my amateur fights at welterweight, and then I went down to lightweight when I went pro. And then after like 3 or 4 pro fights, I went down to featherweight. And making that jump from welterweight to lightweight was brutal. And then making the jump from lightweight to featherweight was insane. Took me like a whole year to get down, but like I did that cut for a long time at featherweight and never missed weight. And so I think it's just time to give my body time to recover. Maybe a whole year at lightweight, and then maybe I could go down again, but we'll see.
Right. Well, you're a big guy, man. So I'm actually kind of intrigued to see what you look like when you, because you're what, like 5'11", 5'10"?
Yeah, 5'11". Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, 155. There's not a lot of 5'11s out there. You know what I mean? So I think you put on some muscle, 10 extra pounds of muscle on you, you might be a force to reckon with at 155.
yeah, I'm excited, man. I just want to be healthy, man. I want to be able to perform like I feel, and I don't want to like dread my last 3 weeks of camp because it's so hard to even train. I have to like eat heavy the night before and the morning of my training days that I'm doing my sparring rounds because that's the only time I get to eat. So like I eat really good on those days and make sure I get my calories in, just so I have energy for that practice. And then after that, I go back to my diet and my normal diet, and then I'm training very lightly because I don't have the same energy and I don't have the same like strength because I'm not eating as much. So going up to lightweight, I think it's going to be a big game changer, and I'm excited. But looking for matchups probably the next week or two and get something lined up. Hopefully, I think beginning of November is gonna be the best bet.
Okay, for sure. What do you normally eat like when you're dieting out of curiosity? Because it seems like it's a pretty tough diet that you're just sticking to year round. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, really, just like I'm doing like 80% protein. I'm doing like 20 or 15. Man, no, probably 70% protein, 20% fats, and then the rest of it's kind of carbs. And like I love just basic things, and I don't really love like a crazy diet. I just like I can't touch pasta, I can't touch bread, I can't touch any sugar. Like it's insane because how fast my body just blows up if I do go to that stuff. And I think that adding in some pasta or adding in some like more fats or more a little bit more fatty meats, things like that will be a big difference on my training because if I was able to train the way that like when I'm at my max on my Tuesdays and my Saturday mornings, those days when I get to eat, that's when I feel the best, and that's when I train the hardest. And then I go back to my normal diet, and then I just kind of, have to taper everything down. So,
Yeah, I feel that. Or else you
yeah,
probably get injured going really hard. Okay, we got
yeah,
about 10 minutes left. So let me make sure there's some good ones for you. Okay, so real quick, there is the couple fights. Actually, so we'll keep it down to 3. They're all about upcoming fights.
yeah.
Brian Ortega, even though you're not going to be fighting them anymore, but I'm just curious, do you still think he's going to not make it to the Mosar fight?
Man, I'm not gonna be surprised if like he has COVID or something. You know, I don't know, man. I just think that it's not a good matchup for him, and I think that Diego's got a big fan base and everything, and he's getting there, but he's not like a big enough name to risk it for Brian yet. And I think that card is set up for him. It's like the Mexican Independence Day plus the fans plus the energy, everything's going to be going against Brian. So don't be surprised if he pulls out.
Okay. It almost seems like the cards are stacked against Brian in this one. Like
Yeah,
Mosar, or not Movsar. What's his name
not
again?
Mozart. Yeah,
What's his
Lopez, Diego Lopez.
Lopez?
Yeah.
You think they're trying to set it up so that Diego Lopes can steal Brian's spotlight, Brian's
Yes.
shine?
Yeah, well, they got to move him up in rankings. He's a great kid. I love that kid. He's got a great attitude. And the Mexican, like all of their fans and all like that fan base they have is just so loyal, and that card's going to be insane. So anyone that has a little bit of Hispanic in their blood is going to be picked to win. I think they have the full advantage on everyone. So I would be surprised if somehow that fight goes his way or
Okay.
doesn't go his way. Whatever.
Doesn't go his way. Yeah, he's got that intangible right now. Kind of like you in a way, actually, I would say. Like he just that scrap in him, that kind of breaks guys. That's what I
Yeah,
noticed with Diego. Like with Sadiq, it was just that scrap in him that took it over
yeah,
for him, honestly. I know that's your
yeah.
teammate though, right? So I'm not gonna disrespect it anyway.
No,
Okay.
Sadiq's not.
Oh, he's not. I thought he's at Fortis. Where's he at?
I don't know.
Oh,
No, I don't know where he's at. No,
okay, for
he's not.
sure.
No.
Got you. All right. Two more. I was gonna say Max Holloway, Ilia. Obviously, you fought Ilia, so you kind of know what he's about a little bit. But Max Holloway, fan favorite. Everyone loves him. I think a lot of people are rooting for him.
I'm picking Max,
How do you think it's
100%.
gonna go?
I think that his volume, his distance control, his reach is going to be a huge issue for Ilya striking. And for Ilya to just randomly pull out some wrestling, like, is going to be his only way to win. I know he does have the grappling. Like, his grappling is really good. Like, when I fought him, when I was watching video, there was nothing available on him. So when I saw video on him and I saw where he was from, I thought it was going to be 100% grappling fight because his camp is like some freaking monster grapplers. And so I think honestly, I think that he could out grapple Max if it came down to it. But like you say that, and then you look back at all the grapplers that Max has fought. Max has fought some tough dudes on the grappling side, and he's done just fine. So I think that if Ilya doesn't get the fight on the ground, then Max is going to win.
Okay, for sure. And with the boxing and stuff, something I'm thinking about. I was talking about it with Mike Davis in an interview we recently did, but I would say Ilya is super skilled in boxing. Like he seems to have a little bit more of that traditional style of boxing. I think Max is right up there though, like neck and neck. But I think the difference too is Max is taller. He's got that range, and that is a big deal in boxing. And if it comes down to just boxing, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
thinking Max might end up taking it with the range. But Ilya's got the great head movement. Like I said, he's like a Canelo in there. So Canelo can fight bigger guys, and the range doesn't matter. So it's very intriguing. But what do you think about that? What I just said?
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. I think that Ilya definitely could win on the feet for sure, but I think that he's going to have trouble for sure. I don't think it's going to be a walkthrough kind of fight, and I definitely don't see him getting like finished. Um, but like if you watch the fight with me and Ilya, like I was tagging Ilya like the first round. He hit me, I hit him. He hit me, I hit him. So he's hittable. And I think that that's a problem if you're fighting Max. If you're hittable and you're fighting Max, like that's trouble.
He's gonna find you.
Yeah, I
Um,
think.
Another thing though about Max, he's really good with the body work, and that's
Yeah.
like something that a lot of MMA fighters I think aren't really doing as much of right now. But Max is showing that you be good at the body work, and you can really like that knockout with Justin Gaethje was set up with the body. Like I think he had 2 shots to the body and then went up to the head.
Yeah.
So I
No.
think maybe body work will play a factor in here as well.
For sure. I think that his range with the body too, it's not like he doesn't just get in and he doesn't just get in and put his head right there to be hit when he's hitting the body. He does it from his full range and his full reach. So Max is definitely he's got some like maybe even the best boxing in MMA.
Yeah, facts. Okay, last one I got for you is I wanted to just ask instead of the upcoming fight, this is more important, I think, with where you're at in your career. You're 36. You said earlier that if you don't have a good performance and things like that, you might end up hanging it up. You also said you have 4 fights left on your contract. So I'm just kind of curious what like your definitive thoughts are about maybe like your future, like within a year or two, because you're going on vacation, but when you come back and stuff, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm definitely like I'm all about my girls, like my kids, like as long as I'm able to do everything for them and that I want, like that makes me happy. So like just kind of what I base everything off of is that if I'm sacrificing all the time in the gym and then I go out there and have a performance like that, then I'm wasting my time, and that's time I'm taking away from them, and that's maybe I don't pick them up from school, or maybe I don't get to like take them to school, or like go to their games, or whatever it is. Like that's time away from them, and I don't want that. So for me, if it's not like if that time's not being spent doing something that I love, and it's not it's not healthy for me to continue, then I'm not gonna sit here and force myself to do this. I love it, man. Like I love the sport. Like so much. It's crazy. Like I've been doing this forever, and it's like it's what sculpted my whole life. Like from starting wrestling in the seventh grade to chasing the same dream since the seventh grade. It's something that like it's literally sculpted my entire life. And so to say that to like giving up or like retiring is going to be easy is like that's not even close. Like I'm not even in that position in my head, but I just know that I know what's important to me, and if I'm putting all this time and energy into this one thing and it's taken away from my girls, then that's the issue for me, and I'm never going to let that be an issue. So I just really want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for myself, but for them and for what their future is and stuff. So, and just like having that kind of performance really is humbling. It's a wake up call. So, I've got to make sure that I'm doing the right things and train the right way, so I can avoid this discussion ever again. So, if I go out there and have a great performance, maybe I fight 10 more times. Uh, it's just like you got to take it one step at a time, and I'm treating every fight like it's my last from here on out. And because I have a voice in my head, I know I can listen to that voice, and I know that I can tell myself whatever I want to tell myself. But I know that voice is always there, tell me what's right and what's wrong. So as long as I'm performing well, then I'll be there. And if you ever see another performance like that out of me again, then that'll be the last time. And I won't even second guess it. And I just like I know that that's not how I've been performing the entire camp. So to go out there and have that performance when it really mattered is very frustrating to me, and I don't take it lightly. So I'm gonna make sure I put the work in and gain some weight, a little bit of weight. I'm not gonna gain that much weight because then I'll run into that same problem of, cutting all this weight. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
some good
looking at.
muscle, 5 pounds of muscle or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. Just I'm gonna lift. I haven't did a squat over 200 pounds in 12 years. I
We
haven't,
we had new hair Damon. Now we're gonna have yoked up Damon.
bro. I'm so tired of not lifting weights, man. Like I'm
Yeah.
going in there, I'm doing bench press, and like the most I do is 100 pounds, and I do like 50 reps. So I'm going like inside, outside, like busting out reps, and It's just fucking, it's annoying as fuck. Like I used to bench, like I was benching 315 in college, and then I was squatting like, four something, and I haven't done one squat over 200 pounds, and I don't even remember. It's been probably since college when I started cutting down, and then like just basic shit. But I just want to get back to the weights and get back to being healthy. Gain some weight, and then see how I feel, and maybe I go back down, but I doubt it.
All right, I'm looking forward to it, man. And I want to say I respect your decision, because you see what happens with Tony and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
respect your decision to not like do too much. And part of what I'm thinking is, does having like that ownership of a new gym make it a clearer decision because you have like maybe that next path once you leave MMA?
Yeah, well, I've always had past. Like I have like I could do landscaping, I can own a gym, I can do real estate, like I can do a lot of things. So I've never kind of cornered myself into just MMA, because I think when you do that, you really like you kind of get psyched out like every fight. It's like it because it matters so much. Like it's like if I don't win this, I don't pay my bills, or I lose my house or whatever. Like I don't do that. I love fighting financially. I love having it on like having it with everything else I do. But I think that it's very important to have other, paths of, making your money, and not putting it all in on one thing. So no matter what I do, I'll have something to do after this. And plus I have, my four girls that like I'm gonna chase whatever they want me to chase, and whatever they want to do, like I'm gonna make sure that they can do it. So I have plenty of motivation and plenty of paths to go down. So we'll see where it goes.
Got you, man. Got you. Well, hey, thanks for your time. And my apologies again. Really sorry about that being late for 15 minutes. That's my bad. So
Yeah,
thanks
no
again.
worries.
And looking forward to the fight announcement.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
Damon.
it.
Take care. Later, man.